another nice sunny day. A lot of people back to school now too, huh? And what did I read today? How about this one? It was kind of crazy. This one here says, drone blocks landing of medical helicopter at Oregon crash scene. When I first read this, actually, I was wondering, did the drone actually crash into the helicopter? That apparently is not the case, I guess, fortunately. It says a medical helicopter called to the scene of a fatal crash on Interstate 5 on Friday couldn't immediately respond due to the interference from a civilian drone flying over the crash site. Spokespeople for the Oregon State Police and Life Fight Network said, "It is a large safety risk we do not undertake," said Natalie Hanna, a spokesperson for the medical helicopter provider. The Lynn County crash killed the driver, 45-year-old Dustin Andrew Brown, of the Sweet Home and injured his 19-year-old daughter and an additional 19-year-old passenger. An Oregon State Police spokesperson said Brown lost control of his Hyundai while trying to avoid a rear-end collision. All three people in the car, whom troopers said did not appear to be wearing seatbelts, were ejected from the car as it rolled over, coming to a stop on top of Brown. The troopers and other motorists lift the car off Brown, but he was declared dead at the scene. And with that, as they mentioned, I guess because the drone was there, they thought it was too dangerous, so they couldn't land the helicopter. It says the medical helicopter had no way to contact the operator of the drone to make sure it didn't run into rescuers, but Hannah, the spokesperson for Life Flight, said first responders were able to take the two passengers to a hospital by ground instead, and so the flight was called off. So it sounds like it was a situation where somebody just saw something, I guess, interesting in their mind and they wanted to capture it. But at the same time, I'm actually wondering, because should the person be really easy to locate in that spot anyways? Especially in this case too, let's just say it is an emergency and so forth. Wouldn't you just be able to, if you really wanted to, let's just say grab the drone? I know there's all that technicality of the drone is a quote aircraft, you can't interfere with it and all that, but there are videos too, for example, of officials literally just grabbing drones off the roof, for example, when they're flying and nothing's done to them. So I would imagine in an emergency situation, for example, you could use your judgment in that regards, right? Wouldn't even the police, for example, have things like loudspeakers and just shout out in the area, who's flying this, for example? Or use your own drone, for example, to try to hunt the person down. I've demonstrated so many times. It's usually pretty quick in terms of locating the operator in these instances anyways. But in general, I guess that's more bad news for people who fly drones, because people will use it for more reasons to say, ban them all in general, correct? In terms of recreational flyers and all that. And then I was reading this, it makes me wonder, okay, are there huge drone scandals when it comes to sports now too? This one here says, Ecuador man detained for flying drone over Brazil training. As if that Olympic scandal wasn't enough, huh? It says here, military police in Brazil on Tuesday detained 3 men for flying a drone over Brazil's CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying training session in CT do Caju in Curitiba, home to Brazil League First Division team Altico Paranense. The 3 men from Ecuador, Venezuela, and Brazil, respectively, were detained and questioned on Tuesday. Initially, the accusation against the suspects is of exposing others to a health risk or endangerment, but we will investigate whether they were not using this drone to illegally capture images to make some kind of sale or something like that. Lieutenant Everton Taborda of the Curitiba MPs told ESPN Brazil. So it's kind of interesting to think about. First, it's a safety issue, and now it's more of a legal issue about, I guess, license and all that. It says, initially, the accusation against the suspects is of exposing others to a health risk or endangerment, but we will investigate whether they were not using this drone to illegally capture images to make some kind of sale or something like that. Lieutenant Everton Taborda of the Curitiba MPs told ESPN Brazil. Brazil hosts Ecuador on Friday in Curitiba. Taborda said the police have not yet been able to access the drone images or what was archived on the seized computer. He said no criminal charges will be filed against the owner of the drone unless Atletico PR decides to file a complaint. What would you think in this case? It seems to me, again, there's so many drone-related scandals with sports nowadays, they treat it as if you are, let's just say, I don't know, killing someone or something like that. Do you think it's overboard? Alright, see you guys later.